Hi everyone, you're watching FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. We will look at important levels and major pairs, and I will tell you a little bit about the trades. And also, if you would like to receive my daily screenshots with technical analysis, you can join any of the groups, which is Facebook or Telegram or Contact. And also you'll receive some signals from another trader whose name is Oleg. So, and also guys, you can register for Forex trading competition. And the first registered competitors, I already made the list, and you can find out who is included in my blog, janafx.com, and all the links you need are in the description under this video. So join, guys. Okay, now let's have a look at euro-dollar, so what happened this week and what I will be looking for this coming week. Okay, so here we are. We were here, right, remember, and waiting for some consolidation. Of course, market went. This is the yellow area where I was concentrating on this week, and I had a bad trade with euro-dollar here. You see, it got me in. And so I had to close it with a loss, but I recovered with this good movement afterwards. So how I use the stops, because I trade different ways. The strategy is the same, but the stops are different. Sometimes I place the stops, sometimes I don't place the stops, and of course I'm increasing the lot size. And I will make a video separately how to do it. What do I do? But it all depends what size of account you have and what leverage you have. So for small accounts, you can't apply the same techniques as you would do on a bigger account. And of course, the leverage, the bigger leverage, more risks, and all these different things you need to bear in mind. That's why, guys, I don't really like to give a proper signals like you're telling me. Give us the proper signals like where to enter, where to exit, and the stop, because you have to decide yourself, and especially the lot size. I will try to make I don't know, we'll see in the future. I will try to make the lots like the minimum lots, and we will see how it would work with different maybe strategies, or maybe I'll come up with this one way of doing it, like using the stops, because on the small accounts you can't not use the stops really, because the drawdown can be big. So that's why I will try to do it, and then we'll see the results, and of course I will share it with you. So but now let's continue talking about euro-dollar. So here's the picture. So I had one bad trade and I come out from it, so I covered the loss and also come out with the profit. So, and now of course I'm waiting for some consolidation around this level, the previous level, we had it before, and of course continuation, either going up or going back down in the same area, and then we do have exactly the same level. So now let's go in the bigger picture so you would understand what I'm talking about and what first thoughts of what's happening. So remember, we had a big move down. Remember I told you that we are in looking like a downtrend, and I corrected the levels now exactly using the tops. So that's what you can do. It's just going to be a little bit different, depends on what broker you trade, because it will differ. And using these bottoms, using these two, the bottom line is not as important as the top ones. So it's not touching this little one, so just these two and this two and a third one in here. So that's why I have another little space around here where possibly market can go. Maybe we'll do some consolidation here before it will decide to continue the way up, or go back down inside and continue moving inside this downtrend channel. We're trying to put this pair in the trend, but right now it's still in kind of a consolidation and a big horizontal channels. You can see we have this bottom and it still didn't break it. We had second one tried but still in, and the third one again this week and still in. So of course I can think of first thought it will go up and then turn around and continue downtrend, but at the same time it can break and go up back to this level. You can see here the price of it, and it might stay again in this range. So maybe it will just continue in this big big horizontal channel. Okay, so it might still be flat, so slightly in a downtrend but still could be flat. So that's pretty much it, guys. So in the bigger picture, you can see what it is, but on the smaller ones, you see we have the same little levels where to look for those small consolidations or possible the other patterns. Okay, so like I'm saying, for my daily screenshots, I send you daily screenshots. You can see where the market is and what I'm looking for. Okay, so right now we're looking at a weekly view. Pound dollar. So pound dollar had a few trades, all positive, and here we go on a smaller chart right now. So I want to show you where we are at this area, and so you see the pound makes those small moves, but they're enough for getting out of at least 10 pips for me. So that's why I was more successful with pound dollar this week. But this week is really, it's been really boring, I would say, and messy again, because very like not good moves, right? Pretty much. In some pairs they had, but you see pound is just like sitting and not making good moves. Unfortunately, all the news was waiting for Brexit, of course, and still concentration on Brexit will be. And I send you a link where usually I send you links where to look for the news during the week. So we have new dates now, so it's possibly 31st of October, right? Maybe, who knows? But because it's more now delayed again, so of course the Brexit will be in the air. Will be talkings, will be movements. But unfortunately not good movements this week, so it was nothing. But following the same news, so I'm just trying to tell you again, Brexit, of course, and all the other pairs, American news, whatever pairs you trade, look for political news events too, not just economical. We saw how non-farm didn't work at all. Non-farm like was not good. FOMC was not fantastic either. So here we go. So political news probably more important, who knows, but look into everything, okay? Into everything, any news. So now, of course, okay, so this is the beginning 1 hour chart, and the smaller ones looking for some consolidation around this area. Of course, if it will go up, we'll see what's going to happen here. If it go down, consolidation around next level, and of course going all continue exactly the same levels as I had. Now, bigger picture, I show you something which you will be probably saying, oh wow, how many levels could it be there? But don't be scared, because you can remove all these levels. You don't have to draw them. I'm just showing you the main picture to share with you my thoughts. So as we have uncertainty, right? So that's what it put pound dollar into this big triangle. But you can see I put these pyramids, right? It does look like maybe head and shoulders, right? So we had a previous one, and then we had this big one, and possibly could create another one. But just a moment, I'll tell you. So you see, this could be our neck area, but for the first top, you can see we had a breakout of this neck area, right? So it went up, down first, and then it came back. So on a very big picture, on a weekly one, for example, as you can see, that's the area to look at. I draw it as a possible, it might create a diamond pattern. Okay, so what could happen is that after this a little bit of sitting in this little area, you saw it in 1 hour chart, it can drop down, okay, and it could go maybe in here. I tried to draw it the way of using these two tops, so that's the one, and this one of course could be corrected. Depends if it will go down, where it will slow down. So it might be a little bit high, it might be a little low. Right now they're moving together, right? But we're using these tops for now. I draw this one in this direction and in these areas because you see we had a previous this yellow area, right? So we've been here before. So that's why I think that if the market will go down, it might be stop here, some consolidation, and then turn around and then go inside this diamond pattern. Okay, so that's one of the possibilities I can see. So the head and shoulders might turn as a diamond pattern. Okay, so if not, of course we're going to remove it all, because we are going to go for a smaller chart to see, but this is the main picture. So next, of course, if I will go back into a little bit smaller time frame, let's say, it still can be another shoulder, who knows, right? Of course, at the same time, it could be a 3 waves, right? We have 1, 2, and of course that can break everything and go up to the next level, or still have the one of these the new 2 tops level, so it can go up here and then turn around or consolidate something around here, of course. And at the same time, because that's all of this, I'm showing you all the possibilities. That's what we're looking at, and that's how to look for entry points, of course. And another one, of course, it can break that triangle. We can see that at one point it should break out from here. Of course, because it could be a deal with EU, no deal with EU, but because it's a little bit delayed now, pound might go up as a positive thing, to thinking that maybe they will come out with deal with EU, but if not, of course, it will drop. Obviously, better news towards the EU deal, the pound will go up. Reverse, no deal, the pounds go down, and of course it might turn into another election or another voting for Brexit or no Brexit. I don't know what they decide to do, but all of this can happen, and of course the pound can just break through that triangle and then just go to the this level once again. Maybe what's the just trying to tell you the problems with triangles, they can turn around as channels. Okay, so from triangle it might just go as a channel. Usually quite often triangles it's like a continuation. Well, it's, if you draw it, it will show you as a possible a trend, right? So that's why I'm saying it's looking like going towards down, but if it will break maybe up, then it can just sit in the channel. So that could be the range. Pound will sit and at some time until some news will come out. I don't like this much, but I do really more still towards that it could be a head and shoulders or a diamond, but this is also possible. That's why I'm saying placing the orders pending directions, pending orders different directions, like for buy and sell. That's what I'm going to do, because there is no clarity once again where it's going to go. There is no trend at this moment. So that's pretty much it, guys. So that's I wanted to show you all these levels, so you just can bear it in mind, remove them all, and just continue with the small movements at this point. Okay, so just leave necessary ones until actually it's going to go and make any movement. So starting with this series, like I'm saying, it might just go and just sit in here, consolidate between these, or might ignore that one. It's just better to use that level as a breakout one. Who knows, but this is the area to look at it first. So that's my thoughts on pound dollar. Australian dollar, I had no trades, and that's the triangle I was giving you in my daily charts all the time this week. So that's why I was waiting for Australian dollar to go into this area, and we're also in a triangle, no trend yet. Of course, and at one point it should break it out. Okay, so maybe it will go up, or maybe it will still would want to go back down first and not recover yet from because we had a really big drop, right? And we didn't have any correction just yet. So it's preparing for some good movements, but not just yet. This week there will be some news for Australian dollar, and so I hope the pair will prepare and will finally make some movements. So right now you can see I use these two tops like really right at the edges of the wings. Before I was using the bodies, but now we saw it's came out, and of course if it will go down in here, then of course I will be using the triangle, and if not, go on a smaller chart. So now you can see again all the levels, but on the smaller chart, look at this. This triangle is really big. That's why I was saying I wouldn't place the orders just yet from the triangles, because it's really big. And here I would wait for a consolidation. If it will give me first a nice channel, of course I'm going to use that to place my orders buy, pending orders sell. And if it will go drop down, and we'll see, maybe it will have a correction here, maybe it will even ignore it and continue the way down. But maybe before news it will just go and consolidate here, so I'll use that level. And then of course we have all the other levels too. If it will go up, for example, finally we'll break it, then of course I would wait for it to go for example, yeah, right, if it will break it here finally, then we have this top, the second top from the triangle, and of course I would see if it will get to that, which is about 100 pips movement, which is really good. Could be a really good movement, and going here and then having a consolidation or maybe correction, who knows, right? So that's pretty much it with Australian dollar. Now we're going to dollar yen. Dollar yen also had a few trades, some good trades and one losing trade. So as we saw, it's actually tried to fool us. Well, first you see that was a really nice, good channel earlier, but on Monday it's dropped, and it's actually created us head and shoulders. And remember, I gave you that pattern, so it was up to you if you would have placed the order for sale. So I placed my order sale, and I had come out with a bit small profit. So when next time it started to consolidate here, this is where I had another area, and I sold again. But you see here, it's only moved 20 something pips, and it's got me into a bad trade as it turned around. And of course, I come out with the stop. But as I said, I posted you a picture once again in the same area. So of course, what did I do? I placed the order buy once again with the increased lot. Okay, with increased lot to cover the loss from this one. Okay, and of course coming out with some profit. So that's pretty much it, guys. So it's your questions of how you're using it, what the stop size. So like I'm saying, the width I'm looking right now is from 10 to 30 pips maximum. So minimum 10 pips width of the whatever I show you, and 30 pips is like the maximum, top maximum. And of course, if you do it from the border, so if it's 20 pips up, down, 20 pips up, so your stop would be so if you like buy here, it's 20, right? If it's now 20, it's 14 plus now 20, so it's 60 pips stop, okay, to the next buying or selling point. So of course, if the channel is smaller, it's going to be 50. If the channel is wider, so it's going to be about 70. So roughly like this until I go to the next trade. So if this is how I work with stops. If I don't work with stops, it's a completely different strategy, okay, and not very suitable for small accounts. So that's, here we go. We are now consolidating in here. That's what I'm waiting for. Hopefully, I mean, it's went in here right now. So you see, it's the previous top, and I will wait for consolidation. If it will give me something, of course, I will place orders buy and sell once again, pending orders, 20 up, 20 down, and that's pretty much it, how I will start with. And of course, the next level we do have, and all the levels go back down is exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Let's just go quickly in bigger chart. So once again, it might be creating a head shoulder, maybe it will be head again and another shoulder. So of course it will go down and stop here. I will have a look at this, which I will be also giving you the screenshot. So in my daily charts, in my I'll send you daily in my groups, okay? And sometimes I write comments, but I'm trying to explain you quite often, quite a lot in here in my videos, so you should understand pretty much where to place the orders, okay? And so that's possibly could be right. At the same time, of course, it might continue its way to the next level and might be going, because we've been here before, so maybe it will decide that it needs new heights, and we'll start. We had this, remember, we had the consolidation before here, so yes, it can go a bit higher. So, but doesn't matter as long as it makes enough movements for our entry points, right? So it can go. Remember, I had also a triangle here, which I removed the level, so I wouldn't have too many. Like I'm saying, we draw them, then I'm taking them away because we don't want too many. So it's still kind of looking like a triangle. It's huge. We are not in a trend on a bigger channel, on a bigger screen, as you can see, on a bigger time frame. But it gets a bit of like really narrowing here. So of course, it could be possibly finally some movements and change, continue the trend, or maybe changing it going down from that big movement, right? So we have really big this consolidation at that point. So you never know what kind of what can happen. So I removed that. You know, you can see the bigger picture. So I showed you everything on the smaller picture. So now you know roughly what to look at. Okay, so now we're going to dollar CAD. Dollar CAD had no any trades, but once again, like I'm saying, another boring movements from dollar CAD, except yes, it was making enough movements, and I see all the areas I was giving you from one level to another level. I just didn't see it was good enough, so I didn't go for it. So right now, once again, it stopped here. I don't see any entry points. We had an entry point, so I would wait for it to either go down on here or go back up. And on a bigger charts, as you can see, again, all the levels are the same. So pretty much we are also getting in a triangle. It's a bit of trying to put it into the uptrend channel. So of course in here it can break and go down, finish the, let's say, a correction of the uptrend channel. So it could go down here. So then wait for consolidation here and a possible turning around. At the same time, we're in that triangle. So from here it might go and be stopped by this level once again. Right, so then wait for some consolidation around here, or maybe it will reach the other level. So that's pretty much, this is the picture, right? So we do have a bit of triangle, and possibilities of movement in any directions once again. So using just the same levels as we already have. So what do we have with gold? Let's go on a smaller chart quickly, and then I'll show you the bigger picture and my thoughts about it. So remember that big channel which I gave you at the end, and its breakout, it broke on Monday. So I didn't place my orders, which is probably I should have done, because like I said to you, gold makes a lot of movements on Mondays. Okay, so this pair does move on Monday, but I don't really usually like trading Mondays. But here we go, that was an opportunity. I didn't like this channel as much because we have so many jumps out from this, and that's why I kind of didn't really like it as much. So, but if you want to risk, and it's very wide channel, as I'm saying, I like a bit no more than 30. The best is 20 pips, I would say right now. 20 pips channel on usual pairs. On gold and like pound yen, it's wider. So that's why if I draw it to you, you see it's like 40 pips. So you understand that 40 pips, then you have to go like 30 pips maybe to get into the trade, down and up. So you imagine that your stop is 100 something pips. Okay, so that's why depends how big your account, leverage, and what's your money management. It's up to you to decide you want to go into it or not. So well, here's pretty much it. We had small consolidations, and which also too small. I like a few days for it, but it's only like from one to another days, which consolidations more looking into the usual pairs, not on gold. And so here I missed a really good trade, which I was again sending you the screenshots of all of these consolidations, where you could have go into the trades. Is up to you, like I'm saying, you decide. But here I was waiting for a creation. That's why I said I want to wait a little bit longer, because I was hoping that it will give me another shoulder. So if it would have given me another shoulder, then would have been head and shoulders pattern, and then of course a little bit lower, somewhere around here, I would have entered the placed the pending order sell. You know, if the head and shoulders play pending order sell, where it's a neck area. So that's pretty much it. Here it didn't give me a nice straight channel. If it would give me a nice straight channel, of course I could have looked at it as also a possible head. But you see, it started to just go down straight away without giving me any opportunity to get into the trade. Well, that's how I do it anyway. Okay. So and now we dropped back into the same channel once again. So of course I wait for consolidation now around this channel. So we'll see if it will do a bit more consolidation, if it will not jump on Monday once again. I mean, it might not this time, or maybe not long enough the jump, because this was a really long consolidation, you see, before it's actually jumped on Monday. So here it's might not be enough yet, so that's why I need a little bit longer to sit in here. And then of course it can continue, it can turn around, have a bit of correction, right? The drop was good, and of course at the same time it might have a bit of consolidation and continue its way down. So now let's I'll give you a bigger picture. So what do I think about that? You see here once again a lot of levels to look at. So we are kind of pretty much in a triangle, right? Remember that level was here, so now I moved it because we are really close, and anyway if it will be a breakout point, we need to know where it's going to stop next, right? So we have the lowest of that movement is here. So if it will break, then that could possibly be a stopping point. But also bear in mind these swings, okay? That market can also be stopped by them, so it might not get to this area. Why I'm saying to you is because if you're using, like, you're moving your stop behind, then you are pretty much fine. You will avoid if it will stop here and then turn around suddenly, right? But if you place your target like specific levels, then it could be dangerous, because if it will go down to this area, it might not reach your target and then turn around, and then you might end up and again floating or a loss, who knows, right? So that's why I'm pointing out here, and that's the next last one up to this big picture. So that's the last bottom. So, and you can see pretty much like I'm saying, when there are patterns, so this is looking like a triangle. So right, we're using the tops and using one of the bottom, the closest one here before that big one. It kind of look like a downtrend channel. So possibility if it will break down, and maybe you'll have some consolidation correction and then continue the way down as in a channel. So this could be a changing trend, right, from the previous big movement of uptrend. So that's pretty much it. But of course at the same time it might turn around and continue its way up. Okay, so, and we do have all the levels still once all the same. So that's just the main pictures usually I'm trying to show you. my thoughts is what expecting possibly when it's coming out from the trend from the consolidations. So now we're going to euro pound. Euro pound, that's where I got also in a bad trade, and I'm trying to get out from it with some profits. I'm trying to close all the losses I made with it and get out with the possible profit. So it was pretty messy anyway. So you see, I myself shouldn't really go into the trade. Just trying to show you. That's why I'm trying to give you these examples, because as you can see, that's the channel from Monday to Tuesday, right? Before the opening of the Europe, it was like roughly 10 pips, but pretty much when it started, it was very small. But anyway, so not bad, still 10 pips, and it got me into this trade. So pretty much, you see, it's only 17 pips, but I guess I had it was a spread a little bit bigger, because that's what I'm saying. I don't like euro pound and pound yen and gold as much as because they have wider spreads, right? They're compared to like euro dollar or even pound dollar. As I'm saying, in these days, the spreads could be big, and of course, euro pound is also, and so that's why you have to think about it, okay? To take which pairs to take trades with yourself. I'm giving you my screenshots, but you decide. Don't go for all of them, okay, guys? I just don't go for all the trades straight away into every pair. It's like I'm saying, if you have a big account, you know what you're doing pretty much, then yes, all right. But on a small account, just go for the safer ones. So here we go, you see. And so that's pretty much it. We've been sitting around this area, which I highlighted once again. And also I was more buying and then selling again and buying again. So that's how I'm trying to get out at this point. So what once again, well, I was paying attention to this pair because obviously I was expecting some next Brexit news, right? We were supposed to have some really good news on 10th of April, 12th of April possibly, but especially it was 10th, 11th with all of this situation. But because they delayed it, so we had nothing like big to move it. So that's pretty big picture now I'm looking at again to give you and overview. So we're kind of like in the flat area at this moment, right? But trying to put our pair into the downtrend. It's kind of in a downtrend, recovering inside the trend, in going into other uptrend, right? So that's why, of course, this movement I would expect to possibly continue and then turn around is in a downtrend channel. But you never know, right? Again, what the news are going to be for pound and with Brexit and well, European news also, economical, political, we're all watching, right? So, of course, from here, I would wait to possibly go up and to this area and then consolidate around here, and then placing orders, obviously pending orders both directions possibly, and then go to the level. Of course, if it will turn around, then to see if it will be stopped by this area. Now I'm going to show you on a smaller chart, so where that level, as you can see, that this also could end up as a double top. You see, we have tops pretty much, right? So this could go back and possibly use this as a selling point. So that's how I see with euro pound. So, that's pretty much it. So if I'll come out from this, when I come out from this trade, of course, I will come out with covering the losses with this one. I don't know if I'd look for it or not, because, well, also it has a quite wide channel at that point around here. So, like I'm saying, maybe it's better just to concentrate on the other pairs at this moment, okay? So that's pretty much it. So, but it's been consolidating pretty much all week too, so it could possibly have some movements. Okay, and now we're going to pound yen. And also with pound yen, well, okay, we'll do a bigger picture once again. So it's kind of similar situations, pound dollar, it's like triangle, but in here it's more looking like a shoulder and a head, a proper shoulder and a head, because we have a shoulder in here, and this is like maybe it's like a big head, and go down into this area possibly, and turn around once again and give us another shoulder. So it kind of can look at it as possibly as it is. We have still the same levels. At the same time, it could be 3 steps movement. We had 1, 2, and then of course we would have maybe the third movement, to be honest, and or at the same time come out from this triangle and then go inside the channel. So that could be our range before some more news about Brexit and more clarity. Of course, like the big movements up on pounds pairs, I would expect a little bit when it's after Brexit. Okay, so I would have expected after Brexit, then it would be understandable and clear if UK comes out with the deal, right? But because it's not clear, I wouldn't. That would be my last thing to think that it will do that before it. That's how I see it. But you never know. And the way I trade, it doesn't matter really, okay? But it's just my thoughts. That's why I see it more either go down, okay, or sitting in a big channel and just going up and down, something like that. If it will go up and down in such a big range, it's also quite a good possibility to trade it, okay? As long as it's not very, very tiny. So it comes out from it and then possibly go for a good movement, but not as huge yet, okay? Continue with the trend. So that's pretty much it. That's what I see. And of course, also it can continue like the channel going down a little bit, but we still have that level, which could be a possible like neck area, maybe. So well, that's pretty much it on the bigger picture. Now we're going on the small, so you see how I was giving you actually my screenshots for this pair. Like in here, you can see I didn't see very much of any entry points. Remember, I actually highlighted you this area previously, okay, saying that, of course, waiting for it to go a little bit more in a narrow and then placing orders buy and sell. So you see when in here I was giving you possible to go like look for small channels around this level, so this could have been an entry point. Here would have been nothing too close to this level as for me. So see, on Thursday when I saw it came in here, I gave you this triangle and I actually made a note to you that I personally, like I'm saying personally, because like I'm saying, I don't really even trade this pair because it's a very wide, okay, and more movements it makes, and so more risky, and spread is wider, okay? So that's why I said to you that I would personally wait for it to go inside a little bit but could be unexpected movement. So when I'm pointing out something like this, then you have to decide if you want to place your pending orders buy and pending orders sell just based on this triangle. To be honest, because it's already came into very narrow. You see, I didn't tell you anywhere around here because it was too wide, but right here it's still about, like you see, 60 pips. So I would have preferred like go a little bit when it would have been for pound yen about 40 maybe, but anyway, so it's a 60 pips. But when you see it's right up here, so you don't place the pending sell order, so you would place your pending buy order, and of course you would look, you see it started to give a little bit of channel. I didn't draw it in when I was giving you screenshot. Well, I would presume you would understand yourself that you either just place in the pending order from it, and if you see a little bit of consolidation, then you can of course place your pending order sell just to think if it will go back down into here. So it's now you see it's 40 pips in, and of course it can smash it, or it could have been stopped, or continue its way down maybe to the next level. But anyway, so it would have been your decision for such triangle. You see, like we saw in Australian dollar, I didn't make a note like this because in Australian dollar, you saw it's a very wide. That's why I didn't say anything about it, like, oh, I would expect some movement, so like, placing anything because it was too wide. But you see, when it started to narrow down of pound yen, that's why I made a note. It could be unexpected move, okay? So that's what I was expecting it as a possibility, as it's been quiet, going into very close, and I was thinking it probably will break it before it will go in, which I actually warned you about it before, also telling you about that not always market will go into the very narrow area of the triangle, so we might try to get out from it earlier. So that's what happened. And so now you see on the smaller chart, well, here there would be next consolidation to wait for. If there is anything again, buy, pending order, sell, maybe it will go back down in this area once again, right? So then it would be a quite good, perfect place, or maybe it will just sit between it, okay? And if we will look on a bigger chart, so yeah, it might go down and start to consolidate between this, because we have this one top and another top, okay? We are moving it a little bit. This is now a proper big triangle, okay? Before we were using the level from another, that's where that one come out from, is from another big trend, levels, okay, and it was treating it. That's why I didn't remove it. It was using it, right, giving like head and shoulders previously, so that's why I left it. And now we're using the proper tops of this triangle. That's why now we can go and have a little bit here. Maybe this will be a breaking point, who knows, right? Like I'm saying, go down, and it could be another a bottom here, or breaking it at some point. So of course, if such a big movement, you would expect a bit of corrections or consolidations. But right now we're looking this area and that part of the levels of the pair. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all my opinion, my view on the market for this week, and a little bit further than this week, a bit bigger picture, right? And so don't forget to subscribe, like, join the groups for daily charts and signals from Oleg Trader, and take part in competition. Of course, you still can register. Just remember, do not trade them account. You just register and wait for 22nd of April. So happy trading, everyone, and see you next week. Bye.